university partnership one, and literally just copy and paste it, and that'll be kind of the way it goes. Something to note is that we did have pins here. I actually don't know. Basically, pinning a headline makes sure that it will always show in a certain position. So if you pin it to the first position, that'll be like the first headline that will display on every version of the ad that shows to a user. Pinning to the second position is that second headline that will show up. Let me see if I can find an example to show you guys. All right, so I can share this real quick. So as an example, Beneful official site is that first headline. So if I pinned it to the first position, it would always show up here. And then Purina Made, affordably priced, is that second headline position. So if I pinned it in the second position, it would always show up here. So I can go back and share this real quick. So actually, I'm gonna ignore these pins for now, and we can figure out the best path for them and whether it makes sense to have one certain or an option, select few headlines to always show in a certain spot. So yeah, the entire process is really just going to be copying each one line for line and adding it into this section here. So honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, I should have done this already, because now you guys just have to watch me copy paste stuff. So that's my bad, but I'll be quick. Let's see. In the meantime, if anyone has any questions, please ask away. Some more additional information I can add as well is that there is a total limit of 15 headlines and 4 descriptions. I would say in almost every situation, well, no, in every situation, it's better to have more headlines than less, just because it gives Google more options and more data to kind of optimize on its own to figure out what combination of headlines and what type of verbiage and what type of intent behind those headlines performs the best. So in my opinion, it's always better to max out the available options. I actually don't know if those dots are allowed. So, and yeah, same goes with the descriptions. It can be pretty tough to make the descriptions just because 90 characters can be a lot. And at the same time, it can be a little, like finding just the right amount of words to put in to make sure that it's within the character limit, but also, conveys everything that you want it to. So that's another thing. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I really should have just had this built out before. Oops. We're almost done though. And actually, now that I think about it, because the other ad group isn't made yet, I think just to, I feel like this already gives you guys enough of an idea on the entire build process. I feel like it makes sense for us, Jason and I, to build out that other ad group offline, and we can just focus the QA on just this one ad group because it'll be the same process for both of them or however many there are. So just so that, we can not waste time, I think it'd be good for us to finish up the other ad group offline. Let's see. As for images, we're still waiting on the client to provide some images that make sense. I actually, okay, yeah, I think it makes sense to wait, and we can implement. I think it also depends too, like it can be tough to generate images depending on what the product being sold is. Obviously, with like those e-commerce businesses where they have physical products, it can be a lot easier to figure out what item or images to implement into the campaign or the ad. But in this case, when it's more of like a concept and like not something physical, it can be hard to figure out what the image should be. So we'll see what the client provides and also see if we can provide any input on that. I did also want to flag with the business name and the business logo. These are already added on the account level. That means they'll apply to every single ad in any ad group in any campaign because it's on the account level. So technically, I don't have to fill this out and it'll still apply. But I personally just like to fill it out just to have peace of mind that it's going to be there. Business logo looks like it's already applied, which is perfect. And the site links, there's already, if you can see here, 5 account level site links. And we're just going to let those run. On the build doc, we have some site links in the works that we can potentially add. So I will show you guys after how to navigate to that assets section. All right, so we can click on done here and just go next. All right, so now we're moving on to the budget. My bad. I got to do this real quick. So the budget was just on the build doc. It's going to be the same thing that we already said, which I think was, okay, perfect. 65, but I can double check that. Yep, so it's going to be 65 a day. So we'll just go to set custom budget and go to 65. Go next. And here it lets us kind of do a mini QA, which is nice and quick. But unfortunately, my laptop's really slow. Wow. After this finally loads, I'll show you guys how we can add in that second ad group and then the other ad. And I'll also give a quick demo on adding additional assets. So that includes things like the site links that we saw earlier, any callouts, structured snippets. I feel like those are kind of the main 3, I'd say, or images as well. So I can go through all of that. So just kind of doing a quick, brief look through here. Got the keywords. All right, all looks good. So we can go ahead and publish this campaign, and we're going to immediately pause it anyway because technically we don't have all the pieces for it yet. But there's a couple other things that I did want to touch on. So let's see, campaign. Oh, well. I'll pause it for now. So two ways you could go about doing that. One is navigating to the campaign, clicking on the green circle and just clicking pause. Alternatively, you can select the campaign. Let's say you wanted to pause multiple campaigns. You can click multiple campaigns through this checkbox here, and then click on edit, and then you can pause them. In my opinion, you should never remove any campaigns. You never know if the campaign might come back on at a later time. It's a lot of data that you have access to. You don't want to lose any data. So pretty much I'd say pausing is best practice. Maybe in the naming convention, you can, update it as like P3 private institution, like deprecated or like do not use or something, like just to let you know that it's never coming back on, but at least you get to keep all the data, which is always good. So I can actually show real quick if we go into the ad group. So we're already filtered in that private institution one. And it's kind of the same process where like building out a new campaign where you can just click create ad group. And it basically just takes you through a condensed version of the campaign build out. And really all you need to worry about here is, choosing standard ad group is fine. And, naming it what you want to name it. And then all that it would be is just adding that ad for the ad group. And because the only things really inside the ad group are the ad and the keyword. I'm going to leave here because we can do that later. And same thing with the ad, like it all works the same way fundamentally. Ad is kind of like at the lowest level. So it's just going to be its own thing. You just create an ad and it's just going to prompt you to make that ad. If we wanted to go to keywords and add more, in this situation, I believe when we add more keywords, either way, it'll tell us to pick a specific ad group. So there it is right there. Sorry, my bad. But yeah, we can just add keywords to a specific ad group as needed. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this campaign now. Perfect. Now, there was another thing that I wanted to touch on, and it's just some aspects that need to be thought of to make sure that it's the same as the other campaigns. So for example, the negative keyword list. If you have a negative keyword list that functions as like an all-encompassing or like a very broad, like catch-all type of negative keyword list, so things like completely irrelevant to your brand and anything that has to do with your product, you want to make sure that that's applied to the new campaign. So a quick and easy way to get there is to hover over tools on the left side. Then you go to shared library. And then you go to exclusion lists. So this is going to be where your negative keywords lists live. And you can kind of go through and add a campaign based on that. So sorry, I feel like my Google Meets just made a weird noise. Oh. All right, never mind. So I'm just going to go through. They have a bit of a weird structure where they have the same exact negative keyword list made 4 times, each applied to its own campaign. I think we can definitely work on consolidating them, but for now, I'm just going to add the one that is applied to all the campaigns. So March 2026, irrelevant searches. We can see it's already applied to all the campaigns except the one we just made. So we can just click on this, apply to campaigns, and we'll just bring it to that private institution one. And this way, it kind of makes sure that we're giving the campaign the best chance it can from the start, making sure that it has no opportunity to waste on irrelevant terms because we're already going to preemptively block them. And that's the advantage of having previous data. You get an idea of what are my good and bad terms. But yeah, does anyone have any questions so far? I feel like it was a lot covered, but all right, perfect. So next thing I'll show is to go to the assets and making new ones. So I'll give a quick example and run down there. First thing you want to do, let's just say we're starting from that overview section. And we just want to see all the assets that are in the account. We go to that assets section, expand the dropdown, click on assets. And here it kind of gives a whole list and filters to sort by each individual asset that exists or asset category. So we can kind of look through them, like image. This lets you see all the images that are currently implemented into the campaign or campaigns. And you can always filter by a specific campaign if you want, and a specific ad group. There's business name, business logo. These are a little more self-explanatory. Business name is, us, Pulse of Perseverance. Business logo is just our picture. Then we go to the site links. So there's definitely a lot of opportunity to be flexible here. We can see, I mentioned it earlier as well, all of them are on the account level. So in theory, when you have account level site links, they should be general enough where anyone that searches any of your keywords would be able to, it might serve a purpose to them. So for example, like our story, it's very broad and like kind of a mission statement. So anyone, no matter whether they're, a mentor or a mentee or even an institution, like a mission statement is always kind of a safe account level one. And there's so much opportunity to kind of tailor individual journeys. So if I go into this actually, it's really, there's a lot of opportunity to kind of do things on the campaign level. And, let's say like if it's a donations one, kind of make it all about donations. And this is kind of what it looks like when you're building out a new site link. So the site link text, I can actually, I'll just come up with one on the spot. I'll just say like, get named after scholarship. All right, that doesn't fit, unfortunate. Oh, actually, hold on. Named scholarships. So they offer something where you can sign up and donate on a recurring schedule to have a scholarship named after you for one of the students, right? And so this would be like a good campaign level site link because it's specific to that campaign and it goes a level deeper. Like it's not just donations, we offer an opportunity for you to have a legacy of sorts in the form of this named scholarship. And we can see here it kind of auto populates that preview, which is very helpful to see how it presents. And description line can be like starts at 5K per year, something like that. And I'm hoping that the preview changes so that we get a better idea, but it might not. Let me look at it on desktop. All right, it doesn't. Something like that. And another unique thing here is that you can put a unique final URL to that site link. And so what that means is, you have your ad copy that already goes to a certain landing page, but these site links give you an opportunity to take them somewhere else even, or maybe to the same spot, but there's more flexibility there to potentially capture a user that might have ignored your ad entirely. So pretty interesting stuff with the site links. Let me actually see if I can pull up an example of a more full site link. I'm just trying to find one real quick. Oh, you know what? The easiest ones are probably brand ones to get to show up. Let's do. All right, so I'm going to share my screen here. Just looked up Chase credit card, and we can see here that these are the site links. So they're presenting a little differently than what we just saw in that preview. So it's important to know that there's different types of ways that the ad can present. I'm kind of going off tangent here, but I just thought this would be interesting. But these are the site links, and you can see that this is where that description 1 and then the description 2 show up. So not only that, but each one will likely go to a different or a certain landing page that makes the most sense. So if I go to Chase credit cards, like that site link alone sounds very broad. And if I click on it, and I'll share it after, it takes me to Chase credit cards where it looks pretty broad. There's a few options. I see rewards, travel, business. And now, sorry, there's a lot of tab changing, but if I go to chase travel cards, I guess the theory is that I'm going to want to see a whole suite of travel cards. And if we go here, we can see they take you straight to travel credit cards. I guess it has personal and business cards. So that's kind of like an example of that opportunity where you can be a lot more specific in those site links and kind of give a potential separate path and user journey for the user to experience. All right. Anyone have any questions on that? Nice. Okay, so headlines and descriptions, like we already add those inside the ad copy, so it's kind of like you can kind of just ignore those. And callouts are another form of asset where it's just additional text on the ad copy. And the whole point is supposed to be to kind of quickly show and highlight value props. So, you know, I feel like numbers do really well generally here, like the 100% free app. I like that, 99% retention rate, 20 plus partner institutions. Like it's kind of just a way to show a quick fact to kind of flex something about your business. And these can also be on the account or campaign level or ad group level, I'm pretty sure. So it can get pretty specific, but yeah. And then structured snippet. It's another asset that currently doesn't exist. So this is definitely an opportunity for us to add. And this shows up as, I can actually show the preview here. It's like a list basically, and it'll show after the descriptions. So you'll have one description and then a second one, and then that structured snippet will show up with a whole list of, you know, we offer, I don't know, mentors, like mentees, software, like, and then it'll just kind of show there as just a list of words. So there's an opportunity for us to build this out as well. All right, I feel like that was, I don't think I'm missing anything. Jason, do you know anything?
There was one thing for the audiences. I actually have it pulled up. Kind of want to share a quick demo on that since we skipped that part.
Yeah.
Let me know if you're able to unshare your screen.
Oh, I have that. Okay.
Thank you. Perfect. Just gonna share my screen. Actually, I'll just share my entire screen. Cool. All right. I didn't want to complicate things, but just want to share a quick demo on how to add in the audiences. So Brandon didn't add those audiences in because it would take up a lot of time to add those in individually. So we actually have a tool called Google Ads Editor where you're able to make bulk changes a lot quicker without having to add each item in like one by one. So I'm just going to demonstrate that real quick. Kind of high level overview. On the left here, we see the account that we're working on. In the event that you have multiple accounts that you're working on, it'll be separated by section. So we can see here, that's the P3 account. And then we have those 5 campaigns that are enabled here as denoted by the like bolded colors. And then there's a lot of color coding system within Google Ads Editor that will kind of give you some information on like whether a campaign is paused or whether you made changes within certain fields. So in this case, you can see here that it's not bolded, meaning that this campaign is paused and also is the campaign that we're trying to make that change in. I'm going to add in the audience segments that we have highlighted within our build doc. So we have these selected here. I'm just going to copy and paste it. And then we can't just copy and paste that here. We actually have to click on make multiple changes. Before I do that, I want to show you how to add those in one by one. In the event that you only have like 1 or 2 to add in that case, like you can either decide to click on this to do it more efficiently, or You can also do it through this means. It doesn't save you, or it doesn't waste you that much time. But I'll just show you how to add one in really quickly. But since we have over 10, I'm gonna add them in bulk. So we found out which audience that is, and then we'll select it. It pops up on the right, indicating that we want to add it. And then we click on OK. So if you had like 1 or 2 to add, you can do it just clicking by this. But right now we have 10 plus, so we want to do it in bulk. Starting from the left side, destination, so exactly including which fields we want to add in. I'm going to do that here, so the system doesn't have to figure it out. It's more efficient that way. Let's see if I'm able to do this. Okay, so we have the campaign selected already. All we need to type in is the audience segment field, indicating that we want to change that. There's other fields here that can also like make changes in. There's a keyword one once you navigate to the keyword section on the bottom left, but in this case, we're just focusing on audiences. So some of these selections here are different from the other ones, but we're focused on the audience segment. So I'm just going to copy it, and looks like I don't have all of them selected. I'm just going to do that one more time. Copy, make multiple changes, select audience segment, paste that in. So then we have, it looks like 23. And then I'm gonna add it in. Okay. I think I know why. It gave me an error just now, just for everyone's context. Let's see. Hopefully this solves it. I actually just selected. I don't think the system was able to understand which campaign I was denoting, so I actually just selected the use selected destinations and then did at the campaign level. Hopefully this should solve things. Okay. This should be correct. Let's see. Okay. I think that's right now. Perfect. Seeing an error. Let's see. Oh, I see. Sorry about that. Troubleshooting real quick. Okay, there we go. That is correct now. So we just added those audiences in bulk. Once again, we don't want to target these audiences, so we have them set to observation, just so we can like observe performance and see how they perform. You can also see that setting at the campaign level here on the bottom left panel. For flexible reach, or under the targeting settings, you would see this option here. So let's say the clients want us to target like those audiences that we added in, we would change it to targeting. But in this case, we want to just focus on broad targeting to get as much volume as possible. So we'll just leave it on observation. And then from here, we'll want to post these changes. Anytime you make any change within editor, you're going to see that they are posted within the UI, but you're going to need to post those changes within platform. That way it's going to reflect in our campaign in real time. So then we're going to post those changes. Looks like I'm getting an error. And that is because one of our audiences here is not an applicable audience. So it looks like it was the education. It looks like it was the education audience. So we're actually just going to remove that from here, unless I'm able to find that within here. Let's see. I'm just going to look for education. Okay, it looks like it does exist, but yeah, it looks like it does exist here, but we cannot add them as a broad target, as a broad topic. We would have to add individual topics under this. So we're just going to leave that off for now since we can't target education specifically. So yeah, looks like we have all these audiences added. And then when you go into platform, after we've posted those changes, I'm just going to refresh so I can see the new campaign. It's taking a long time to load. So I'm going to pull it up on another tab. Okay, perfect. Just making sure I have the right filters here. So if you have the filters here for just the enabled campaigns, you're not going to be able to see the paused one that we have. So I would definitely recommend changing both of these to enabled and paused. So now I can see that campaign. We're going to click on the campaign and go to the audience section here. And then we're able to find which audience segments we're targeting by clicking this drop-down arrow. From here, I'm going to click on this to like show all the rows here since I have it limited to 10. So now you can see all those audiences that we just added in, and they are under observation. Does anyone have any questions about this? Perfect. We're going to jump into the QA part of today's agenda. So shared the QA form with each and one of you within the chat, but let me know if you guys can't see it. So this is kind of just testing your knowledge of finding all those like fields that we talked about that Brandon selected when he built the campaign. I'm going to split you guys up into 6 breakout rooms to kind of navigate platform and find each of these fields. So I'll give a quick demonstration on how exactly to find each of these. And this will kind of give you a little bit more experience on like, I guess like looking through the platform and like checking your work. So once again, QA is really important to make sure that we have all the settings that the clients want us to have selected. If anything is different from what we want, then we definitely want to make that change to ensure that aligns with the client's goals. So what we do internally is that we have 2 people typically checking on whatever launch that we are owning at the time. So if it's a campaign launch, we're gonna have 2 people checking it. For anything that's like post-launch, so after the campaign is enabled, typically it's like 1 person checking it, but in this case, it's a campaign launch. So that is very significant regarding the whole journey. So this is going to be the most important aspect of making sure that we catch any errors before the campaign goes live. So I'm just going to check like 2 fields to kind of give a demonstration on how this works. So I'm going to start with, let's do this one, relevant start or end dates implemented. So what Brendan demonstrated was a campaign build, and you're able to see all those settings from that view. But in this case, we want to go into each section here and look for each of those categories. So in this case, it is going to be under the campaign section. So we want to make sure that we're under the campaign part on the left side of the panel. So in order to find the setting for a campaign, you will either, you can look at it from this view. So if you have those columns added, you can find some of those settings, but in most cases, I would say you should be under the edit settings part to see which settings we have selected for each field. So we're looking for the start and end dates. So we're just gonna start at the top and just kind of go down the list and look for that setting. So it's not up here. And then we go down here and we see other settings, and it's under this part right here. So we're gonna click on that real quick. You don't have to click on it, but if you want to see more details, you can. So it looks like the start date is set for today, which is fine because we're not launching it today, given that we have it paused. So even if this start date says today, it won't go live until we enable the campaign. So that is correct. And then end date, we don't have an exact date on when we want to end that campaign. So we can set that to none. So what I would do here is I'm going to mark off my initials. So JH, and then add a brief note for the person that's second queuing to ensure that they are aware of what I have checked off. So in this case, I'm going to write start date May 11th, and then end date none. You don't have to write a note for each field if it's self-explanatory. So for example, search partners disabled, like that's pretty self-explanatory. But in the event that some of these fields are not self-explanatory and can be elaborated on, I would definitely recommend writing some notes here, just so everyone's aware of like the settings that you have checked off. For the person that's second, I would also recommend writing notes where applicable, just so the notes align across the board. So let's say Brandon checked this setting off and he discovered that the start date is actually on the 12th. He would write May 12th and then like maybe highlight it and tag me to make sure that I check to make sure that that's correct. So sometimes in some cases, the person that's queuing one, this might be correct, and maybe Brandon didn't see the same setting. So just kind of goes through another process of like queuing the person queuing one to make sure that both of these settings are like correct across the board. Getting into one more example before I let you guys jump into it. I'll just go down to the ad group section. We'll do one that's a little bit more complex. So once again, for each section, you want to make sure you go through the right section here within the UI. So ad group, I'm going to go under ad group. And we're going to be checking for ad rotation is set to use campaign setting. Once again, click on that gear icon to see the settings within the ad group. And then from there, we're going to go down the list to find that part. Ad rotation. This one says to use campaign setting. That is the Kepler wide best practice that we're following. It might be different across some teams that you work on, but this is just like the Kepler wide general one that we typically use. So we're just going to follow that and use campaign setting here. But I've seen some teams use optimize prefer best performing ads if they want each of their ads to have visibility. But in this case, we're not going to be selecting any settings that differ from the Kepler wide one. So we're just going to do that here. And this is a good case where you don't need to indicate additional notes, I would just leave your initials here to make sure that's checked. Yeah, and then there's a few other sections here. I'm thinking we could probably just skip over a few since it would likely take too much time, but I think we can skip over these ones here. I'm just gonna hide it. So you guys would just need to QA the campaign, ad group, keyword, and then the ad section to make sure that everything aligns with our best practices. Any questions before I break you guys into breakout rooms?
I did also just want to add, sorry, can't find my tab that has it, but okay. Let me just link the QA sheet again, and then everyone can open that up. I'll also put it in the Slack chat too. That way we still have access there. You guys can't reach it. So should get there, and then let me drop it in the Slack as well. And yeah, if you guys, so this is going to be a group effort with each breakout room, and if you guys can't find a setting, that's completely fine. Don't dwell too much on each one, and I feel like we can come back and all together kind of review, and each group can kind of list out like what settings they had trouble finding, and that'll be a great opportunity to kind of show one of us can walk through how to navigate there. And QAing, a lot of it is really just kind of knowing how to move around the platform and knowing where to look. So this is kind of just reinforcing like your knowledge on understanding the platform, where settings exist, and how to change them. So yeah, don't worry if you can't find a certain thing. Yeah, don't take like too much time on one setting because we can all go over it together. And I just linked the QA sheet in the Slack. So you guys have that there. And now I think we can break you guys off.
Yep.
Oh, wait, no.
Set up, Brendan.
We gotta give them a break. I keep forgetting.
Right. Okay. Okay, we'll split you guys up into breakout rooms and then feel free to come back at 1:10 or 4:10 Eastern.
Or 3:10 or 2:10 or wherever.
All right.
5 minutes. Thank you.
See you guys. Hey y'all, welcome back from your break. Let me know if you guys didn't get assigned to breakout room. I believe everyone should have been. Um, but yeah, let me know if you're not able to find yours. So, oh, okay, we're good. Hey Jessica, are you able to find your breakout room by any chance? Or are you having issues? Okay, never mind. I think she's in breakout room 5, so we're all good.
Yeah, I feel like we can just let him rock and roll for a bit.
Hello? Sorry, I was in the bathroom, but I'm back.
Oh, I think I added your audio and you to the same breakout room, but let me know if it's not functioning.
So my computer it says breakout 3, but on my phone it says breakout 5.
Oh, what the heck? Can you join them and then I can try to
Yes.
troubleshoot from there? Thank you. Oh, what the heck? Yeah, it still says that. Wait, but I literally just. All right, hold on. Edit rooms. I need to save it. Breakout 5.
Wait, are
No.
they on multiple rooms right now? I only see their name once.
There's like a Jessica G, but I just. Oh, save. Oops.
Ah,
Okay, I think it's good now.
perfect.
I think you should be good now.
Okay, there you go. Nice.
Yeah, I figured we could just let them do their thing for a bit.
Yeah, I think we could probably just join the room in like 125 or something, maybe.
Yeah, something like that.
All right, I'll probably just work on other client work for now, but
Yeah, I need to do that too. And I'll probably put some time, maybe like tomorrow or something, to build out that other ad group. But it'll probably take
right.
like 2 seconds. So
Yeah. Okay, sounds good. All right. Do you want to check on group 1 and 2? I don't see anything in their QA form, so I'm like slightly concerned if they're like super confused.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll check on group 3 and 5. I don't think they have anything on there yet.
This is group 1. Go to your docs. All right. Yeah. I'll start
Okay.
with group 2 actually, and then I'll go to group
Okay.
1.
All right, I'll do through 4 and 5, or
Perfect.
3 and 5.
Yeah, I think they were fine. They were just coming back from their break.
Okay, sounds good. All right, I'm just gonna quickly check in with each breakout room. I'll just let them know that there was something in there that we specifically made an error and see if they can locate that.
Oh, what did we put in?
For the ad groups, we didn't pause it.
Oh, you're right. You're
Yeah.
right.
So I'll just let them know that we left in an error there and see if they can find it. But
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
you can just sit and chill.
All right. Bye. Hello.
Hey Brandon, I lost internet on everything that I had right now, but I'm still here. I was in group 3.
Okay, I got you.
Yeah, sorry about that. I'm
No, you're good.
breaking it out on my laptop, but I still wanted to at least get because Jason was in there explaining that quote unquote error that we caught, and he was like explaining the Kepler, what was it, like norm that you guys do with it, because
Okay,
it's
yeah.
middle of it.
I think I'll put you in now. Let me know if you see that.
I do. Thank you.
Yep, no problem.
I guess it's only us.
Is this the main breakout room? Is this the main breakout room? I guess no one's back. Okay, we can keep working on it then. It's just us. Okay. Or I'm not sure.
All right, you want me to just share it? Or do you guys want to just work?
Yeah, we could just work.
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
okay.
like share our thoughts out loud if we find anything. Actually, where are Brandon and Jason?
Maybe they're in other like breakout rooms.
Oh wait, there is a duplicate.
Where was it?
Isn't it the first two? Aren't those duplicates?
I think one is phrase match and one is broad match, but the same keyword.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't consider that a duplicate.
True.
Wait, are we certain about 37 or should I highlight that and ask so we can ask as well?
I think we should probably ask about that. I'm a little unsure about that.
Yeah.
Wait, I just realized the meeting is being recorded. Does that mean it's only recorded in the meeting room?
Hi, everyone.
Hopefully Brandon and Jason can cut this part off.
Yeah.
I don't know. Last week, my group entered back. It was like 5, and like nobody was here.
Oh yeah.
So I don't know. Did anyone have that problem too, or?
Oh, actually, I don't know. Because
I think we kind of just like logged off last time. They told us to like just leave, from what I remember.
I
Is that
remember
the
joining
case?
back to the main room. Where do we look at negative keywords again? I remember them going over.
Yes, so I'm under the keywords tab, and then within that there's a negative keywords thing.
Oh, okay.
All right. Yeah, I know we're at time. We probably should have brought you guys back in earlier, but hopefully things went pretty well. Obviously, I don't want to hold you guys late, so I think the plan can be like if every group can just, or actually, no, I mean like Jason and I can review anything that's left blank from within each group. And the next session tomorrow, we can just kind of go through the blank spaces and, give clarification or walk through anything that people struggled with. So yeah, don't want to hold you guys. Please feel free to enjoy the rest of your days. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, so tomorrow should be able to review everything. Should be all good. So yeah. When can we expect? Oh, they should. Oh, I thought we sent them over. I'll double check with Jason and we will send them to the Slack ASAP.
All right.
Jason,
Hey,
I just
Brandon.
kind of said that we could go over anything that was blank tomorrow on the next session.
Yep.
And also we had a question asking to upload the previous recordings. So,
Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Yeah, I will upload the previous recordings after this call. Sorry for that. Yeah, I'll have this session and the last one added by end of day. But for any of those fields that you guys couldn't fill out, that's fine. If you want to work on it after this call as well, like feel free to. Just mainly want to give you guys some exposure into the QA process we do here at Kepler. We are a minute over, but I will say we left an error in the ad group level. If any of you guys were able to catch that, good job. It should be paused instead of enabled. So I saw a lot of groups add that in. So good job on that. Yeah. So in our next call, we can like kind of go through some of the fields you guys had troubles with. I know I went through them individually with each of you, but yeah, would just be good to touch on that as a group. Yeah, I will let you guys go. Thank you so much for staying on for an additional 2 minutes. But yeah, hope you guys have a great rest of your day. See you guys tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you tomorrow.
See you.
Bye.
Have a great day.
Bye.
Thank you.
Of course. Thank you. All right. I'm going to stop the recording real quick.